And that's the work that, as was mentioned earlier, from the head of civil service through the chief directors and the directors we have done. How about this particular ministry? What sort of work has gone on in this ministry from about 2017 till now, or 2020 till now, or even beyond now, as we continue to track our progress as a republic, ministry by ministry? And so you'll find that 28 ministries and then the Office of Government Machinery are accounted for. So you can query by ministry and find for yourself what exists there. And some want to see by region. I saw, I think, the Bono East Regional Minister smiling when, she saw the regions pop up, hoping that she will beat everybody else to what is available here. 16 regions have also been accounted for, and you see the projects listed according to region. And beyond that, the 261 MMDAs also have their projects accounted for here. So DC will be checking to see how many projects you have executed in your areas against other DCs. And if you have more projects, you please send it through the validation process, the very rigorous validation process, and when it is validated, it will be updated on the tracker. Very quickly, the thematic areas. So when you go to the thematic look, we just picked road and transport as an example. You will find that there's metrics on the data from roads and transport. You want to see how many kilometers of roads or specific projects, bridges, etc. You'll find metrics on it. You also find the categories. If you want to query by categories, you can find. If you want to see the photos that go along with it, you can find them. Where there are videos and audios, you will find them. Where there are infographics, you will find them. And then where there are articles by independent bodies, organizations that also validate the claims of the government of Ghana, you will find them there. This is just an example of some of the metrics that we pulled up from the roads and transport slide. For example, when you look for road construction works, and you are looking specifically for roads constructed and rehabilitated from 2017 till 2022, you will find that the metrics will tell you 11,974.96 kilometers of roads that have been constructed and rehabilitated in the Republic of Ghana since then. Now, the metrics will do something else for you. The metrics will then compare it to the baseline. So if the baseline, for example, is 2016 or 2008 or a particular year, it will run, the algorithm will run and tell you that the change is about 158% increase compared to the 2009-2016 accumulated window. And it will also tell you the source of this data, the Ministry of Roads and Highways. And on the live website, when we go there, you can now click and go into it and find the project yourself, which backs or validates the metrics as you are finding here. And again, once again, I want to celebrate the team of Ghanaian engineers who have done this algorithm that works for us. If you took, let's say, construction of interchanges, the data will tell you that 12 interchanges between the period 2017 and 2020. Those 12 interchanges, 6 of them are completed, 6 of them are still under construction. And it will compare to the baseline of 2016 and tell you that that is 140% increase in the provision of interchanges in the Republic of Ghana, comparing with that baseline. And again, it will give you a link to go there, click, and find those interchanges yourself so that you can validate the data for yourself. Another example, the road network size. The road network size in this country is now about 94,203 kilometers. That is a 20% increase compared to the 2009-2016 accumulated data. And the source is there. You can then click and go find the data. If you went to the category side, it will be grouped under airport, feeder roads, cocoa roads, interchanges, traffic management, railway, and you can click and go for the data therein. The second dimension I want to draw your attention to is the sectoral report. So if you go for the sectoral report, let's say you query for a particular ministry, Ministry of Education, you will see the earlier tabs I mentioned, but you see 2 additional tabs. You will see the executed projects and their details also there. And then you see the summary or the count of the project. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are the ones that you also see. These are additional layers of information if you query by sector, ministry by ministry. And so, for example, when we say specific projects under education, if you went to the classroom blocks, depending on what you are querying, it will tell you about the 3-unit classroom block at Dumpoase, and it will give you the geolocation in the Ashanti region, Adansi North District at Dompoase specific, so that those who want to validate can validate, and it will tell you the percentage completion as at the time this data was keyed in. And if there's an update of the data, for example, when we started the exercise, there was something that was about 45%. As at the June cutoff point, it has moved to, let's say, 67%. You will begin to see that, and then you can track for yourself and find out. I won't bore you with too many details because we'll go into the details later. And as I mentioned, the summary of the count of the data. So depending on the particular district, or if you want it by region, or if you want it on the global level, that's the national level, it will list for you the various data points, and the timestamp will tell you when this data was gathered. And as we continue to update, you will see the data points also update themselves. The third category I want to speak to is the regional and district report. I know many of you are excited about that one. It will also show you the tabs, but it will show you district level data. So you'll see district level data beginning to pop up, and you can query your district and find out the kind of projects that are in your district. So for example, we took a screenshot of Western North region, and it will list the districts for you, and then you can go into a particular district and pick. Bia West, for example, you'll find the rice processing factory, you'll find a project to distribute computers, you'll find a 3-unit classroom block at Bia Senior High School. Each of these have been done by the assembly, also being updated on it. Now, what I encourage you to do is to, as you go through the tracker, pick some of the data sets or the metrics that you find very important. I selected 8, which I want to share with you. And don't ask me why 8. I just found 8 to be an interesting number, so I picked 8. Now, these are just a few metrics, 8 metrics that I picked from the platform just to highlight. As I mentioned earlier, when you're talking about the conversation on roads, you will find about 11,974.96 kilometers of roads constructed and rehabilitated from 2017 to 2020. That's a 158% increase over the 2009 and 2016 data set. Jobs created between 2017 and June 2023, when this data was put in, a little over 2 million, so 2,087,000. And to tell you the source of the data coming from SNIT, so SNIT is the one that is providing this data. So for every data set that is uploaded, the source will be made available. Government Agenda 111 project, and this is very interesting. Agenda 111 project, when you take the numbers and you add it to the previous health infrastructure that existed, by the time we are done, healthcare infrastructure would have gone up by 55.9%. That is the addition of half of the stock that existed already to Ghana's health infrastructure. And I think we can give ourselves as a country a big round of applause on this one. STEM education, 5 schools completed, 5 under construction. And depending on which dimension you are querying, you can then go in there and then find the details for yourself. Over 5.7 million children benefiting from free SHS and TVET education as at June 2023, when this data was put in. I know that data set has even improved between then and now. Because June, then there was September intake, etc. But as at that time, 5.7 million children benefiting from free senior high school and TVET education. Rural telephony, a radical program that was rolled out. I see the Minister of Communications is here with us. 1,448 telephony sites that had been established between 2017 and 2023. And let me tell you what's interesting about this. Each of these sites in a community has a certain number of people around it. Let's use a minimum 100. 1,448 multiplied by 100. Who can now have better connectivity for their commerce, for their personal communication, for whether it's healthcare, dealing with relatives to send help or whatever. That is the kind of impact that this 1,448 telephony sites is delivering. So when you see the number, it's not just a number. There's a story behind the number. There are lives that are being impacted behind that number of 1,448 rural telephony sites, multiplied by the number of people who live in those communities and how it is impacting their lives out there. Housing units. You know, now I'm biased towards housing. These days I only talk about housing. 3,286 housing units constructed and added to the housing stock in this country. I want to pay tribute to Minister Atachia, Minister Senso Boakye for the great job that they have done We've still got more that's ahead of us. Recently, I'm sure you've seen a lot of work that is being done. All of that will be updated to include that, because in the Greater Accra region alone, we are currently working on about 10,000 housing units. So this is just 3,000 as at the time the data was put up. And then the update of the data will be going on. 17.2 million persons now covered under the National Health Insurance Scheme. Again, this is data that I picked. So these are my big 8 data points. I encourage you to find your own 8, because 8 is an interesting number. In conclusion, we want to encourage you to visit the website and download the app. We want to encourage you to take time and navigate and be informed. We are responsible for the information we consume, each one of us. We are responsible for the information we consume. If you choose that you spend, and I say this with the greatest of respect, you spend all your time on a particular social media platform consuming half-truths, false narratives, etc. You are responsible for that information you are consuming. The government of the Republic of Ghana is providing you a database where the facts about projects across the 261 districts are available. The least you can do is to navigate and be informed, so that when you get into that conversation with somebody, you can speak to facts that you yourself have verified on this particular app. And then we also want to encourage you to check for continuous updates, because this is a live platform. It will be updated literally on a daily basis, so please continue to check for those continuous updates. For platforms of this nature all over the world, you may find 1 or 2 little challenges here and there. Shortly, we will open up a feedback window so that you can give us that feedback, and then where corrections need to be made, those corrections can be made. We don't claim perfection, but the leader who is charged us to do this, the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, is clear that this should be done. We should use these digital platforms to account to the people and take feedback and make the necessary corrections. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the government of the Republic of Ghana, we want to declare the Tracker 2.0 duly launched.
You heard of planting for food and jobs. 80% of the grains and legumes that are being planted, even more than, come from the research lab and fields of the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation.
We have taken the production of aquaculture from 4,000 to over 6,000 metric tons.
We have worked very hard to make it possible for Ghana to become the headquarters of the Africa Continental Free Trade. We've done a lot. We've completed several years uncompleted the Kwai Hospital.
We've also found new oil in the Jubilee Southeast, pumping around 30,000 new barrels of oil to help increase our revenue base as a country.
The government, since 2017, has constructed over 40 kilometers of drains.
The Tamale Airport is now an international airport. We have upgraded it to international status.
We have made this country safer.
The road sector has tackled as many as 12 interchanges in our country. So as many as 6 interchanges, at various stages, including Tamale interchange, have been completed, whilst another 6 are at various stages of completion.
Cholera has become a thing of the past. In the year 2021, as many as 147 entities prepared their account.
In 2018, we achieved lasting peace in Gabon, so there is peace.
We have succeeded in zealously protecting the public purse. Indeed, about 20 trillion Ghana cedis have been saved as a result of the actions or the efforts of Mr. Atinjura.
I would say that within the period, we have engaged not less than 2 million persons into permanent employment.
Ghana today, by dint of hard work, is a leading producer of gold on the African continent. We have overtaken South Africa, and we've done so because we've implemented policies and programs to revamp mines which were under care and maintenance.
We have been able to raise cocoa price from 800 cedis per bag to 1,300 plus Ghana cedis per bag, which is unprecedented.
You can also talk about the lead progress. Now we are covering 1.7 million beneficiaries.
Ghana has occupied the position as the #1 tourism destination in West Africa. Ghana has become a center of global entertainment.
And this government has rolled out the Rural Telephony Project, which has ensured that 4 million people will be connected by the end of its full rollout. And that's what takes me to our Girls in ICT project. We've trained over 10,000 girls across the length and breadth of this country in the most deprived areas.
From 32% pass rate in mathematics in 2015, now we have 62.32% of our students attaining A1 to C6 in mathematics. We have ventured into science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education. We have had our students pursuing courses in aviation and aerospace, building drones and flying them.
Leadership of the ministry, acting in close collaboration with the leadership of Parliament, designed a scheme to have frequent consultations between and amongst the leadership, because the ministry provides an interface between the legislature and the executive.
We have established about 321 factories in the country, and about 169 of them are completed. As I speak, about 9 of the big names, the big boys in the automotive industry are established in the country.
I invite you to visit our website, Performance Tracker, and explore for yourself. I also invite you to examine the metrics and find out the change and the improvement in the quality of lives of people. Welcome to the Performance Tracker. So ladies and gentlemen, as we wrap up, we'll show you the live version of the tracker. We invite 2 members of the audience. Jerry will help me with the microphone. You can query any information that you want us to query for you. The people behind the computer, maybe you want to... So yes, Jerry, is there any taker? Any data set you want us to query for you? And we'll show you the data we have currently on it. Maybe while we wait, let's start with health. You want to click health for us? So go to health. Bottom left. These are some of the metrics on health as we have them. So for example, when you talk of ambulances, it will tell you the number and compare to the baseline and show you the change, about 123% increase compared to what existed in 2016, the number of ambulances that we have been able to roll out as a country, and the percentage change and how this is impacting lives. If you take ambulance service responses to cases for the period under consideration, about 38,273, and it will compare to the baseline. Are there any takers? Okay, sir.
Yeah, I work in the extractive, and one of the interventions by government is the alternative livelihood, and that of community mining.
I understand, but is there a particular data set you want to query here?
Yeah, mining.
Mining?
Yeah.
So let's go to the Lands Ministry. Lands and Natural Resources right there, yes. Please go down a bit. So under forestation, this is the metrics that we have here. And please go down a bit. And digital platforms have been rolled out. This is the data we have here. Under the usage of the digital platforms, this is the data that we have here. Go under themes. So you go to our achievements, you can go to themes. Go down a bit, and let's see if we'll find a theme that corresponds with what he's looking for. Energy, food security, trade and industry, business development, government service delivery, tourism and culture, poverty reduction, water, economy, women empowerment, justice delivery, security. So mining, you'll probably find it under the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, as I mentioned, that you have to drill down for mining. Can we go back to the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources to see if they have spelled out mining as a separate theme? These are the metrics. These are the metrics that we went through. So if there's particular data on mining, for example, mining volumes, changes in mining volumes, etc., you will find them here on this platform. And as I mentioned, when the feedback window is opened, if you want us to particularly mine for some specific kind of data set and you make that feedback available, we should be able to input that for you. There was one other hand here. I'll take that as a final and then we'll wrap up. Okay.
Professor,
take one then, very quickly. Professor.
Yes, thank you.
Academia is here.
I want to see the details on jobs.
On jobs?
Thank you.
I think that will be under employment. Thank you very much, Prof. So let's go to jobs. Okay, so click on it. Let me see if I can see it here. So you will find by institution, for example, Ghana Police Service, 12,795. As at that cutoff point, the date will be there, the source is there. If you look for veterinary officers who have been recruited, you will find it 959. If you're looking for I'm sorry, I can't see very well from where I am, 360 recruitment of short service commission special duty officers. You will find the source, that's the Ministry of Defense. 528 emergency medical technicians, 329 special medical intake recruitment by the Ministry of Defense. Number of, you're running a bit ahead of me. Number of pollinators, you'll find it there. The Ghana Atomic Energy Commission, 150. So you'll find the various subcategories and the sources of that data that have been put there. Professor, thank you very much. And I'll take a final one from here.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable. I want to go down to the district level.
Good. Which district?
Let me pick my district.
What's your district?
That
will be Ashanti region. So let's go to Ashanti.
Let's see.
So it takes us to Ashanti. Let's go to MMDA data. Efija Kwabre.
North.
So we click on that. This is what has been keyed in as at now. And then as I mentioned, we can update as we go along. So you'll find Agenda 111 as at that time about 62% complete with the corresponding photo. You will find the dining projects. I can't see very well from where I am. It says borehole dining projects, borehole drilling projects, and the location is where? Efija Kwabre, North District. The specific town is what? What's the town? Okay, so you'll find all of those details there, also geolocated. So ladies and gentlemen, we encourage you to get onto the platform to query it and to mine the data. We thank you very much. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, Government Minister, launching the performance tracker on behalf of government. It now falls to a very important body, the greatest beneficiary of this great initiative, to express thanks to the government of Ghana. Make welcome the Acting Director of the Information Services Department, Dr. Winifred Nafisa Mahabu.
Honorable Minister for Works and Housing, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to stand on already established protocols. I must say we are very happy with this delivery tracker because it's also a step in the direction for government to be proactive with disclosing information. Once we have the right to information law in place, with citizens going out looking for information, this is a very important tool in that direction. And so we are very enthused about this. As information officers scattered all over the country, this is a big deal for us. I would like to say a big thank you to all those who worked behind the scenes, all those who put in every little effort. I was part of it, so I know what it took to get this, get us to this level right now. A big thank you to those who were cheering us on for this work to come to fruition. I would like to say a big thank you to all of us present here for taking time off your schedules and joining us to launch this very important tracker. May the good Lord bless us and make our nation Ghana great and strong. Thank you.
Dr. Winifred Nafisa Mahama, Acting Director, Information Services Department, we thank you ever so much. And so it's finally here, the government's performance tracker. It is a tool which would help us appreciate all of government's projects and initiatives, the various outcomes on the platform. The call is simple. We say, navigate and be informed and watch out for updates, because this is still work in progress. This is how the government of Ghana certainly delivers on the promises it has made to her citizens by way of accounting to her people. May God bless this tracker. May God bless us all and our homeland Ghana and make her great and strong. We shall rise once again in our belief and faith in this nation. Yenara Yasasini. Performance Tracker 2.0, delivering on our promises. Performance Tracker 2.0. Performance Tracker 2.0. Let's go out there and spread the word, but please be seated briefly. Honorable Minister, if it pleases you, I'd like to invite you, together with all ministers, for a photo. We shall have 3 memorable photos, and then we'll be out of here. First, with the Honorable Kojo Nkrumah and all ministers, respectfully I invite you to the front. We'll need some help with the lectern. Photographers, would you please help with the arrangement? Joining the ministers, I invite the heads of the Public Service Commission, Local Government Service, and the Civil Service. Honorable Ministers, please stay behind as I invite to join you the heads of the Public Service Commission, the Local Government Service, the National Development Planning Commission, the Rector of GIMPA, taking their place in the middle of the ministers, I invite our national chairman and our chiefs, Amen and Anum, All MMDCs, please stand by. I'll be inviting you shortly. So our chiefs, together with NDPC, heads of the local and government service, please return to your seats. Let me invite all MMDCs, you join the ministers, but please come up stage. The final shots will be with all chief directors and the head of delivery units at the office of the Vice President. All chief directors, please get ready. Right after this, all chief directors, together with the head of delivery units at the office of the Vice President. Thank you, MMDCs. Chief directors, respectfully I invite you, together with Prof. Apiaidu.
You are watching a GTV live event.